All right, guys, welcome to another webinar from RepStack. My co-host today is the amazing Jeff Fisher. I myself, Azhar Siddiqui over here, CEO of RepStack. We run a virtual assistant company providing marketing assistants, sales assistants, and account managers strictly for digital marketing agencies. Jeff, if you want to just quickly give us your intro before we move on.
Yeah, Jeff Fisher. I've been doing digital marketing for about 12 years, and I've been working as the Chief Growth Officer at RepStack for about the last 10 months or so, and looking at how we can provide you the right quality virtual assistants to achieve your goals is what we focus on. So excited to share today about the sales assistant and what the expectations should be for a sales assistant.
Yeah, and that this is a topic which is really near and dear to my heart. I know it's really close to Jeff's heart as well. And the topic we have for today is that, do you even need a sales assistant? You know, we have a lot of inquiries. Not to brag or anything like that, we got 70 discovery calls booked last month for people like, you know, different digital marketing agency owners across the US and Canada coming to us with their requirements. And you know, we're only filling out these 3 roles, and there's a reason behind that, because, you know, as digital marketing agency owners, we're really great at fulfillment. We're really great at outsourcing, maybe, or internally to web developers, to SEO people, Facebook ad people, and things like that. But when it comes down to our own marketing, our own sales, and our own account managers, we like seriously underperform on that. I've been there. I know so many different digital marketing agency owners right now who've been in the same shoes. These are the last roles that we hire for, and it should be actually flipped upside down. Saves you a lot of time, puts your agency in a high growth mode. And so what we've seen over the last 14 months that, you know, we've been in this accelerated growth mode where we have over 140 people right now inside our organization, is that a lot of time a digital marketing agency owner would come to us and they would say that I need a salesperson. And, you know, that sounds great. We'd love to provide you a salesperson. Our question on that discovery call to that agency owner is, what kind of processes do you have in place for your salesperson? And a lot of time, you know, the answers we get is, you know, I don't have a prospect list right now. I want this person to come in and build out my prospect list. I have no processes in place. I don't know what kind of dialer I'm going to be using. Some people don't even have CRM systems that these salespeople should be going in, like Go High Level and HubSpot. That these people should be plugged into, and they should be making phone calls out of here. So not having those systems in place, not having those automations in place, that's a sign for us on our discovery call to not qualify that client for a sales assistant role. What we would end up doing for that person is that we would try and convince them that you don't need a salesperson right now, dear agency owner. What you really need is a marketing assistant. That's where you need to start out with. Because, you know, as digital marketing agency owners, you know, we need to eat our own dog food. And I have seen, like, I've been guilty of that. I've been running my own digital marketing agency in Canada for the last 13 years. And I was the only marketing person. I was the only salesperson. I was the only account manager. And I know a lot of people who've done that. So unless and until you have a marketing assistant who sets up all of these marketing campaigns for you, marketing automations for you, and for your salesperson, unless you guys have these things built out, I can promise you that that salesperson is not going to solve your sales problems. This is going to be some real talk today. But what we're going to do, like, I'm going to ask Jeff to pitch in over here, but I would like to show you some of the sequences that my marketing team has built out. And now, you know, we can plug in a sales development rep in that role and how successful that's going to be. And we're also going to be showing you a successful sales development rep or a sales assistant. So Jeff, what are your 2 cents on this topic?
So one of the first things is, you talk about process and sales process. And I like to say, if you haven't sold 15 of your own packages yourself, you're probably not ready because you don't have a process yet. But even more important than that, making the decision between a marketing assistant and a sales assistant comes down to, you need a list of somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 prospects that you want to go after. And ideally, that list is at least half of them have come through, your direct marketing. So they're either coming out of your feeder group, they've downloaded a special report, something else. So they've raised their hand a little bit and said, tell me more, right? So if your sales assistant comes through the door and you hand them a list of 1,500 people that none of them know about you, it's going to be really difficult to get sales done. So that's why, if you're in that position, we want you to hire a marketing assistant, get those things put in place, build out your feeder group, get your email sequences done. Your marketing assistant can make, 25 or 30 calls, but they're not going to make 150 or 200 calls, all the time, because they're there more to do the nitty gritty detailed work. And so too often, as you said, we see digital marketers that come through the door asking for help, and they want to immediately jump to a sales assistant when they don't have the infrastructure in place to even go there yet.
Yeah, very well put together, Jeff. Thank you so much for that. So what's the way forward over here, guys? I think that's what we want to talk about. I know that, as a digital marketing agency owner, you need sales. We've all been there. Our thought process is, as soon as we get a little bit money, let's invest this in a salesperson. But that salesperson is going to fail if we don't have everything pre-built for that. We're not setting that salesperson up for success. So what are some of the things that we can do to set this person up for success? So, and when is the right time to hire this person? What is the right way forward? So I think the first obvious step over here is, put that salesperson thought that you had aside for a little bit and start out with a marketing assistant first. And this marketing assistant's role is really, really well defined. And we've always obviously been working with a lot of digital marketing agencies, and we've refined this role really clearly as well for a lot of our clients. And some of the most important things that this person should be doing is that, they'll help you acquire and clean out your prospect list. So prospect list, like Jeff said, that, figure out what your niche is and get your hands on a prospect list. Once you have that, there's ways to, you're going to need to clean up that list. You're going to make sure that every single column and row on that list is accurate. So obviously, as a digital marketing agency owner, you may not have all the time to do all of that stuff, using tools like Veriphilia, making sure that, email IDs are correct on there, making sure the phone numbers are correct on there and things like that. So you hand this off to your marketing assistant, clean out that list. From there, what you want to do is that you want to start running paid ads if you have budgets. Set up some lead magnets, like, how to do this, or how to get to number one for HVAC companies on Google in 90 days. You build out a small document. It's called a lead magnet. Again, your marketing assistant is going to help you out over here. They should be able to start helping you out with writing content, doing the graphics, and you go ahead and approve that or edit that slightly. And then you move into running some paid ads using those lead magnets and start getting some people in using these paid ads. So if you don't have the budget for paid ads, what a lot of people do is they run. So you've got this list of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 prospects in your niche. You start running cold outreach campaigns. So this is this is like, I highly recommend that you guys run a cold outreach campaign, because your salesperson is going to thank you for that. And we'll show you in a minute why it's so important. Because what's going to happen is that you have a list of these 5,000 prospects. you run a 5 or 6 email sequence campaign, targeting these prospects and sending messages to them. Email number 1 goes out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And depending on how good your email copy is, these people are going to start opening up your emails, and it becomes so much easier now. If you have a salesperson who's you've automatically set up, and your marketing assistant is the one who's going to be doing these things for you, that person is going to come in, and as soon as a person opens their second email, now your salesperson got a trigger or an email that now you need to call this person up right away. So now your salesperson is not doing complete cold calling. They at least have some sort of a foot in the door here. And there's quite a few things over here, but start out with paid ads if you can, if you have the budget, but definitely start out with getting your hands on a list of prospects inside your niche and running some kind of cold outreach email campaign on that, and automating the hell out of this process inside your CRM, so that when you get that salesperson in, that person is just going after call after call after call and not wasting any time. What are some of the things that you'd like to add on the right way forward for that digital marketing agency owner who are looking to grow sales, Jeff? What should be the right way forward for them?
So I put in chat for everybody, a sales assistant or a sales development rep is another way to, but they're responsible for qualifying the leads in the initial stage of the sales funnel. They research potential clients, connect with them, educate the prospects, qualify the leads. All of that happens before they get handed off to the closer. So in most digital marketing agencies, for the next 6 to 12 months after you hire this person that we're talking about, you're still going to be responsible to be the closer. So their job is to, tee up and get on your calendar highly qualified prospects. And that's what's missing in almost every digital marketing agency out there is, you might be doing some CRM stuff, you might be sending some cold emails, maybe even doing some Facebook ads, but if somebody calls you up and says they want your services, and through your discovery process, you determine that they're not ready for your service yet or not big enough for your service yet, what are you doing with that lead? Are you following up with them in 6 months to see if they've grown their business enough, to see how that you might be able to help them in the future? So too often we take that lead that's come in, we work on it one time, it's pass or fail, and when they fail, they just fall off. So you've lost all of that money that you've spent to get that person to raise their hand. And so again, the sales assistant, sales development rep is working on nurturing that lead until they're ready to invest with you. And this applies whether you're doing, plumbers or attorneys, or it doesn't really matter what your niche is. Ideally, you want to be niched down because it makes everybody's life easier and knowing what to talk about in these particular calls and things like that. But that's the starting point, is getting somebody that's actually taking the time and figuring out, this list of leads that have raised their hand one way or another and how they might fit into your business today, tomorrow, and 12 months from now. Because we know from our own experience, there's a lot of our potential customers that show up and they're just not quite ready yet for a virtual assistant, whether it's a sales assistant, marketing assistant, whatever. But we can't ignore them. That we know they need help. We just need to know that we as a company can help them and not set unrealistic expectations. Yeah. So that's why we're talking today specifically about the sales assistant position, because too often, again, we see somebody, as Azhar said earlier, they show up and think that this person that we're sending over is going to create all of these things, and the right person to be creating the process is more of your marketing assistant with the help of the business owner, because there's nuances in every sales process. You can do the exact same steps for every sales process, but what you say it, how you handle that prospect is slightly different, niche to niche.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. So, and just in a minute, what we're going to do is that we're going to show you just some of the work that goes behind the scene before you even think about hiring a salesperson or a sales assistant in this role that what we're talking about. So this person books your discovery calls for you and things like that. But even before you get to that point, um, Mashood, I'd like to share your screen and show everyone on this call how many discovery calls we as RepStack booked last month. So as you guys can see, so we have a couple of joint ventures going on. We got 15 discovery calls from there. And these are strategy sessions. A lot of people call them different things, but these are, calls where client has raised his hand, they're interested in your service, and they want to kind of find out more about your service. We booked 70 discovery calls. And guess what? At this point right now, we're in a lucky situation where we do have a small sales department, but we don't have anyone actively booking these discovery calls. These are all done from our marketing side. So not a single one of these calls, I think maybe actually 2 or 3, we just had to reply back on chat. And that also our marketing team did. And we were able to book all of these calls mainly by automations only. So imagine now at this level, like even before you put in a salesperson, you're already getting a decent amount of discovery calls coming in. And at that point, I think that's the point where you're really ready to place a salesperson in that role. And when that salesperson, think of the sales department that you want to create think of it as a souped up supercar, and you're finding this sales development rep or a sales assistant, and you're putting him in the driving seat right now. You don't want them to build out the supercar for you. They're not going to be able to do that, but they're going to be able to drive that really, really fast for you. So that's when you've had all these automations done from your marketing side. Bring on that marketing assistant, run your cold outreach sequences, run some paid ads, and have a solid prospect list. And that's the point when you want to bring in a salesperson. And now you're looking at our CRM right now. We're using Go High Level, and this is just one of the cold email outreach campaigns that we're running from our marketing side right now. So if you don't have something like this for your salesperson to come in, like for example, email number 1, there are 611 leads in there. 407 people opened our second email, 250 people opened our third email, 135 people opened our fourth email, and so on and on. So now when we have that salesperson, the appointment setter, this is like a playground for this guy. He can come in, we can put all those first sequence emails in an auto dialer for him, and he can just go after call after call after call these 600 people, all of them whom have opened up our emails. And now he can go and say that, hey, Joe, I saw that you opened up one of our emails on this and this date. I just wanted to see if you have any questions for me. It's such an easier conversation instead of just picking up the phone, going on Google, finding out, if there's a roofer in your area, calling that person up and saying, hey, can I do your website or your SEO for you? A lot better, much easier call for you. Your salesperson is going to be a lot more successful because you've already built success using your marketing assistant. But if you don't have things like this in place, I think way better for a place for you to start out with is a marketing assistant. Jeff, how long does it take for a marketing assistant to have at least some of the basic functionality in place and an agency owner to be able to hire a sales assistant after that?
It's going to totally depend, but you should be within 60 days, your marketing assistant should be generating some level of leads for you. And from that, again, this is a personal decision, business owner to business owner, but my suggestion would be when that starts to happen, again, think about when you're going to have 1,000 to 1,500 in your list that have raised their hand. Because if you set somebody down and all they do all day long is sell for you, a list of 1,000 maybe sounds like a lot to you, but to them, that's only 50 calls a day.
Yeah.
And so they should have that done by lunch, right? They should have those 50 done by lunch. So what are they going to do with the other 4 or 5 hours a day? So again, your marketing assistant, well trained, and you continuing in the sales closing role, qualification role, will get you, 6, 8 months. Sometimes it just depends on the amount of money that you have available to do paid advertising. Usually is the limiting factor, because if you've got, let's say $2,500 a month that you can spend on Facebook advertising and you're having a successful ad, as soon as those discovery calls get up in the range of 25 or 30 a month, you can definitely bring in your sales assistant to help you at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those are some solid benchmarks that each agency owner can set for themselves. And then also what Jeff said, that usually the limiting factor is your paid advertising budget. So if you can put aside some, I can promise you that things are going to move a lot faster if you're able to spend some money on Facebook ads and Google ads and things like that. So in short, I think if you don't have any of the processes that we showed today, we're going to be sending out a replay to everyone as well. So, so some of the notes that Jeff shared and I shared over here, some of the screenshots, we'll share those again with you guys. In short, eat your own dog food. We're doing amazing things for our clients. We're doing marketing. We're building in, pulling in these leads and phone calls for our clients. Why can't we do it for ourselves? In order for us to do it for ourselves, we need a person who is dedicated to that role, which is your first hire usually, which is going to be the marketing assistant. Start with the marketing assistant, give him 60 to 90 days to build out these systems and start pulling in these leads and discovery calls for you. That's the point when you can move into a sales assistant who can then further enhance the discovery call appointment setting process for you and start bringing in more and more business for you. So that's usually the step. And this is not just, we're not pulling this out of our hats. This is a process that's been working. Jeff's been coaching digital marketing agencies for years. We've been working with 100+ digital marketing agencies. We have 150 people, and majority of them, I think 50% people that we've placed right now are in marketing assistant roles, because that is the most crucial role. It builds out your souped up supercar so that salesperson can come in and drive it through the finish line. Before we end this, if you guys have a couple more minutes, I'd like to show you a quick video clip of once all these processes are set up for you, what it looks like for a solid appointment setter to come in and what their day can look like for you. Jeff, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
Well, just keep in mind that one of the things that makes RepStack unique is, you hire that marketing assistant, you get some leads coming in consistently, then you're bringing in that sales assistant to help you out. And then finally, we offer the account manager or account managing assistant. And so those 3 roles are here with us intentionally because we know these are the roles that most digital marketing agencies struggle with getting put in place. And of course, we have a training process that our virtual assistants go through to make sure that they're qualified to do each of these 3 roles. So that's what I got to add.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeff. Mashood, take it away, my friend. Let's play Henry's video. Henry, by the way, is working for one of our clients, Josh Nelson. We'll skip the Josh Nelson part. We'll add this in the replay. Just move on to Henry. And he's crushing it. He's been on this account for 1 year. And you'll see what a day in his life looks like.
Thank you. Hey guys, this is Henry Adams. I work with Josh Nelson in the 7-figure agency as a sales assistant. I make outbound sales calls and take inbound sales calls as well. Now we use the Go High Level CRM, this one, in seven-figure agency to make outbound calls and take inbound calls. And my job is to call each person one by one in our funnel and see if they're interested in setting up a strategy session. And if they are, I move them into my strategy session tracking sheet. Now, in the last 3 months, I've made close to 2,000 calls, out of which 500 calls were picked up, and I booked 92 of them to be exact right here. I blocked out the names and numbers for obvious reasons for the clients. And apart from that, this is what my day end report usually looks like. So as you guys can see, I have two different funnels that I use in this on that specific day: our cold outreach funnel and our book funnel. And from here, you guys can see that I made 37 calls in the cold outreach funnel, out of which one call was picked up, and I sent in the link to the calendar because he was busy at the time. And in the other funnel, I made 15 calls, out of which one was picked up, and I booked one. And lastly, this is the pre-booked funnel that I had the scheduled call with him, and he was qualified for our program, so I booked him onto my coach's Arnaldo's calendar. Now, in a week, I get an average of about 5 bookings and 20 in a month. And this is the time doctor application that each RepStack VA uses. It
Have you
monitors
put
our
here,
time and productivity and takes regular screen.
you can stop sharing. So just to wrap it up, guys, Henry would not have been able to do all of this activity and book and grab these amazing results for his client unless and until they had all the marketing prerequisites done for him. They were just able to bring this person in, with a little bit of training on their processes and systems and the right scripts and things like that. This person started crushing it for him, for them. And what you're missing out right now in this picture is everything that went behind the scenes. They were running multiple ad campaigns, multiple funnels, using their marketing teams and the marketing assistants that they have. They have a book funnel. They have so many different funnels and strategies and things like that they're doing. And had they not had have those in place, Henry would not have the type of success that you guys are seeing right now. So the salesperson, the sales assistant is going to be really, really successful, but you have to give him a chance. And how you give him a chance is by having your marketing taken care of, which we do for our clients on a daily basis. It's just time to take care of it on our own side now. So thanks for joining us, everyone. I hope you had a good understanding of what a starting point should look like anytime you're thinking about figuring out sales or improving sales inside your digital marketing agency, what the right starting point is. It's usually not just to go out and hire a sales assistant. It's one step back, which is the marketing assistant, and then the sales assistant comes in. And like what Jeff said, that the third step to this process is getting account managers, because once you have those sales coming in, you're going to have 20, 30, 50, 100 clients, and you're going to need account managers. You can't be picking up calls at all hours of the day. So that's a conversation for another time. Looks like we have a question here. Okay, I think Sam wanted to book a discovery call. We've already sent him a link. And yeah, I think we're good over here. So thanks a lot, guys. Looks like we wrapped it up right in time. I'm impressed with Jeff and I. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll talk soon.